In this film, we're going to look at iPad AED trainers. Now, there are two types of iPad AED trainer available, but there's three brands of AED. So the NFK, there isn't a trainer for, but there is a trainer for the SP1, and there is a trainer for the SPR, which is what we're going to look at now. So if you're choosing which one to go for, then it's often a good idea maybe to go for the SPR because it's the top of the range unit and it's the latest unit in the iPad range. If you've got a iPad NFK, then either one will do. They work the same way, similar sorts of buttons. So in the classroom, it's going to work in a similar way. So if you are training with this, but the customer has got a NFK unit, use the trainer, have their live unit next to you and just point out the differences between the two units. So, you know, when you're actually looking at the difference between this and the actual unit of this brand, it comes in a different case because it's just a trainer device. But you can look at the live unit and you can look at your trainer unit and compare. But for training point of view, then that's fine. If you're buying multiple units, then why not get an SP1 and an SPR AED trainer? So the case opens up and on the front you've got a pocket and inside here you have the remote control. And it just takes standard batteries in there. This is how you can control the units. You can tell the unit whether the pads are on. You can set scenarios and things like that. So the remote control is just held in the front. When you open up the main part, you've got the AED trainer itself. So the students can either leave it in the case and get them to take it out, or you can take it out before for them. But the unit itself mimics the actual live AED unit. When you look at the trainer, all the bits and buttons and the lights are on there. On the back, the pads are stored in exactly the same place as the live unit. So it does mimic using the real unit as much as it physically can. So having that unit in a different case is a good idea because you're not ever going to get it mixed up. So the outside of the case clearly says it's a trainer. So no one's going to accidentally get the trainer unit instead of the live unit. With the trainer unit, it comes with the pads set in. You've got the same buttons and the same sequence of numbers. So you have your 1, 2, 3 numbers. So turning the unit on, and then all the same feature lights, bits and pieces will work the same way. It's got a speaker on the front, same as the live unit. So you know you can adjust the volume depending on where you're actually teaching the class. So with the training unit, you push the green button, number 1, just to turn it on. When it first turn it on, you'll see all the lights light up. So it's a good test feature if people are checking their work. And then literally you just follow through the voice prompts.
Adult mode.
So it goes into adult mode, put it into paediatric mode. You push the button here.
Pediatric mode.
And it switches over to paediatric mode to turn it back.
Remove set to adult mode.
And then here you just literally, when you're running your classes, running through the side. So it's saying about remove clothing, the lights are flashing here. If we pop it into paediatric mode, then the lights are flashing on here. So it's very easy to use unit
set to adult mode.
to run. Once it goes into analysing mode, then it will tell you to stand clear.
Shutting down.
And then the flashing button will light up here and you can push the button to deliver the shock. So you know, it's a very good trainer and it does mimic the main features. Pads themselves, we'll just pull out the side, the same way as the live unit. They've got all the information on them, and so there's as much information on those as you can to sort of compare with the live units. But the pads are totally different. So when you actually look at the pads, they are similar, but this is just a standard training pad. So they're not exactly the same in the sense that there's no metal on the other side, but it does mimic what they're actually going to be looking like. So it's ideal for training you know, in your classes, or you know, if you're a company or a group and you've got one of the units, you know, it's a good idea to have a trainer as well, so you can practice any time to keep your skills fresh.